cashier check for ticket. What was it, the bank? The fucking parking tickets I get for not moving for the sweep cleaner.
Oh, you keep getting them? How many have you gotten?
2.
How much are they?
They're like $50.
You better pay them before they become like 100.
I'm worried about the other one.
What?
The first one I got was like 2 months ago.
Okay, yeah, you're fucked. You know you better pay that one right away. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Time gets away when I work for Teresa.
Oh yeah, I can get that.
You can call it like if you want to take the rug off and move that thing inside.
Yeah, what is this?
It's like a little cart for moving groceries.
Required it?
Huh?
Where do you want me to put the rug?
Huh? Just toss it over there. Toss it on the pile.
So you don't want it on the floor? Whose rug is that?
Mine now. Jucon. I took remember that desk chair I was talking about?
Yeah.
When I came back from Teresa's, it was down the road on the fucking corner. Apparently the back's broken, so I did all that shit for nothing.
Welcome. This is mildly fatigued.
Welcome.
With Adam and Caleb. How you doing, Adam?
Doing pretty good.
Would you like to talk about your Teresa story?
Yeah, so there we go. So the last couple of weeks I've been basically living at Teresa's.
Okay.
Getting ready for the move out, and it was a total shit show.
Why?
Well, first, she didn't want to start packing until we got all the shit done, until like 2 days before the fucking move out.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, okay, we need to hustle with this." Fuck.
Jesus.
So I got I think it was Saturday. I bribed Nolan with a bottle of whiskey if he'd go at 10 a.m. so I could get some sleep. And I came down with Walter at I think 3
a.m. to pack?
or 3 p.m.
Oh.
And we scraped all the shit off the windows that she had from the tape.
Yeah.
And that was like an hour, and she was gone for like 3 after we got there.
Yeah.
I don't even know when she left, so we got the adhesive done, and then we're like, well, now what?
Yeah.
So I texted her, and she was not very helpful about it. And then she got home, and she got pissed off that we didn't start doing shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, I left you a list over by the stuff. I didn't know that fucking list was there.
Yeah.
And I would have waited for her anyway, because I have no fucking clue what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, she wanted us to putty the door and paint it again and redo the furniture and shit like that.
Okay.
So we basically just sat around for a while, and Nolan had a joint because he ordered another wax pen before, or like a concentrate pen before he came. So we smoked the joint, and I was like looking at Nolan. I'm like, this guy just got back from Vietnam. There's no way he has like a high tolerance.
Who?
Nolan?
Nolan, his brother?
Yeah.
He came back from Vietnam?
Yeah, he was in Vietnam for, I think, like the last month.
Why?
Just for school.
Oh, what the hell? Okay, so his tolerance isn't high.
Yeah, so I'm like, are you gonna be alright, dude? And he's like, oh yeah, I'll be fine. Sure enough, we halfway through the joint, and he's fucking staring at me and like smiling and shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you alright? And by the end of we got like halfway through the joint and then just stopped it because he was fucked and I didn't want to get like high off of it. Yeah. So we went inside, I brought eye drops out to Nolan because I'm like, you need to take these. Like,
yeah. His eyes are fucked.
Well, I figured it'd sober him up a bit.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He just didn't.
Okay.
So we went inside and he laid on the couch and just fucking
passed out.
Basically, yeah. I got him a water. I tried to get him something to eat. He's like, I'm not hungry.
And you didn't do anything the rest of the time?
Basically, yeah.
That's so funny. I can see why you're pissed.
I wasn't pissed, but like we had to like kind of bluff around it when she got back.
Yeah.
Luckily he sobered up enough that when she got back he was just a little out of it. So we got back. She sent them out to get something. They came back like 3 hours later.
Okay.
With most of the stuff.
No.
Yeah. They bought she told them to buy 10 of each box, and they only bought 10 of large and the extra large box. And Teresa's very fucking particular about everything, so she wanted like small boxes to put everything in so that she knows exactly where everything is. And then she sent them out again and they came back with not the right stuff. And then she was just fed up with them, apparently, because the rest of the night was her she just wasn't, she was just complaining and not doing shit. Like, we're trying to get the moving done and there's already someone doing the door, so let's like do shit.
Yeah.
We don't want to be here all night. But it took till like fucking 12 a.m. for her to finally kick in, and then Nolan helped her move and shit. And then they didn't do a very good job in general. So in the morning, they went out. They were supposed to leave at 8.
The house, like, move out? Or them leave?
They were supposed to go home at 8. And they got to 8, and then they're like, well, can we get some money? And they were fine with 200, but she misunderstood, apparently, because she thought they wanted everything in full. And I know exactly what happened. It was, she said, can I just pay you in 200? Or pay them in 200 for now. And I asked them, and they were fine with it. And then she, like, called from the kitchen, like, well, how much do you want? And it's like, oh, I'll take the full, I guess, if you're asking. And
she got upset?
Yeah, she got upset and then sent them out again to go get the fucking furniture kit. And instead of calling the store first, like both of us told them to do, they instead went to the store, looked around, the employees told them they don't have it, so they just grabbed whatever the fuck was close enough.
Yeah.
Which wasn't what she was looking for. And then when she got back and they put it down, Walter, like, she, like, yelled at them on the phone, and Walter got all pissed off. And when she got back, she basically just told him to go the fuck away. And that's when Roy came. And the first thing she sees is that the house isn't done, and she's sending away like 2 people that were helping her. So that's when she basically like broke down and was like, "Please don't kick me out. I got shit to do." So Roy is like, "All right, I'll let you stay 2 more days. We just need to know like when. I'll let you stay for a little bit longer." And Lynn showed up, and Lynn is the property manager, like the realtor. Okay. And she's got a thing against Lynn because Lynn's kind of a fucking cunt. Okay. So immediately she just changed her tune when Lynn showed up and started being super, what's the word for it?
Bossy?
Not bossy, just being kind of a fucking... It's not know-it-all. She was just kind of like lazing around. It's like, I'll get to it, kind of.
Okay.
Let me think about it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she moved from the doorway into the bedroom, and then she moved from the bedroom out into the outside, and she just refused to actually give a estimate on the days. And they're asking me, and it's like, I don't fucking know. Yeah. I ain't the boss here.
Yeah.
So finally, Masood, who is the landowner's boyfriend, who's been working on the pool in the backyard, he's been working this whole time while they're talking back and forth.
Okay.
And he fucking goes up to them. It's like, you haven't been doing shit for the past week. I've been around. I've seen you. You just been sitting around smoking cigarettes in the fucking house.
Okay. So he just calls her out?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she immediately decides that, oh, he's just taking it out on me because his mother is sick or something like that. Which is... I don't like that about Teresa. That's one of my main annoyances with Teresa. It's never that she's doing something wrong. It's that someone else is projecting on her or something like that.
Or just something.
Yeah. And then finally he's like, let's just go through with the eviction. And they go into the house. And then finally she fucking talks to me about how long it's going to take.
Okay.
So when she's done with that, we get up, go and tell him that it may be tomorrow, but it'll probably be Wednesday. We'll aim for 2, but it'll probably be 5.
Okay.
So they're like, fine, whatever. And they leave. Well, then, as soon as they leave, I've been up all night. So I go out, get Carl's Jr., grab her some milk, give her food. We watch a little bit of TV, and then I go out to the van to sleep. And I wake up in the morning at 1, I think. And then we get up and did we actually do anything for
that day?
Hayden's out there. So what did we actually do?
Nothing.
Yeah, I think she just kind of fucked around for a while. And then we finally started packing shit up. And Wednesday, we basically got everything done after staying up all fucking night.
Yeah.
I remember what it was. She was trying to do phone calls and shit like that. We got something bigger going on. We can do that afterwards.
Yeah.
But if you, God forbid, you fucking bring that up or... So, we finally, it's 2 o'clock when we finished with the shit. I take a 45-minute nap, and then we get up and we start doing stuff, and then I forget what we even did for 3 hours, but Roya came, and she's like, oh, let's text Roya and say, oh, we're probably not gonna make it, da-da-da-da-da. And it's 20 minutes till she gets here.
Yeah.
It's we might as well just wait until she gets here.
Yeah.
Which apparently puts the blame on me.
Okay.
So Roya, we text Roya, and she's like, all right, well, the keys we're changing the locks and you're getting out tonight.
Jeez, okay.
So Lynn shows up first, and Teresa sits outside, and I sit outside with her, and Lynn comes up, and they're going back and forth, you need to be out tonight. She's like, I can't go yet. I was like, well, let's wait for Roya. And Roya's not having any of that shit either.
Okay.
So, finally, we go inside, and they kind of, like, look around and see what's happening. And they're like, no, you need to leave tonight. I've closed the store twice to come to these.
Yeah.
If you would have said something earlier, then maybe. But
no,
we've already made plans around this shit, and we've canceled like 2 showings already. So they start like moving shit, and I like half-heartedly help them before I'm like, Teresa, am I supposed to be helping them? She's like, I don't know. So basically, they're trying to get me to help them. They're trying to get Teresa to, like, do shit. It's like, oh, I need to stretch before I do anything. So they're like, all right, fine, we'll pack up your shit. You go fucking stretch.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting in the stretch room, and I'm, like, standing on her knees while I watch them just throw shit in luggage and, like, roll it out into the door.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna leave. I'm like, I think it's happening.
You're standing on her. You're like, I don't think you have a choice at this point.
She still thinks that, like, she chose to leave. Okay. It's like, no, you were forced out.
Yeah.
Like, what were you gonna do if you
stay in there?
Yeah, stay. Were you just gonna, like, start rolling your luggage back in and shit? So that just kept going until finally they rolled her shit outside, and she went out there and she sat down and she got all fucking pissed off, like, why won't you take my $300 to stay another night? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
You backed all my luggage and I have to redo everything. And like, all right, well, pack your shit and go do it in a hotel room.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I can't. So we sit there for probably like an hour with them just arguing back and forth, and they're trying to get me to do shit, like
you have any power?
Yeah, it's like, I can fucking, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know, Teresa. So finally, she's like, I can't redo all my shit with you guys standing here. And they're like, well, let's just help, or let us help. Da 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 da. And finally, I just told him, like, it's probably just gonna go faster if you just go sit in the car or something like that. So they walk off, and Teresa's all happy. Teresa's less upset, and we redo all of her shit, and it's like 9 by the time that we leave the house. So now we pack everything into her car, and now this whole thing happens, and then we drive to a gas station, and she's like, all right, you want to go to a bar? Like, she's like just
nothing
totally
happened.
nothing. Yeah. So we go to Uncle Tony's. Have I told you about that?
No. You went to a bar with her? Okay, keep going.
Uncle Tony's is a bar over in San Marcos, I think. It's over by, do you know where Shadow Ridge is? Okay. It's like 15 minutes from the house.
Okay.
So we drive there. We go to the bar. And she pays for my food. I just get a Sprite because I know I'm going home.
Yeah.
And she lets me taste like this wine that she has.
Okay.
It was great. It was really sweet and like
awesome.
Yeah. And then she gets a shot of some kind of whiskey that was pretty good. And then we eat, and the owner of the bar is like Italian, like he has the
like
accent.
Uncle Tony's.
Yeah. And Teresa is Italian and went to Italy for like a year or something like that when she was a kid. This is the most cringiest shit I've ever seen.
Well, she tries.
Uncle Tony, what do you do with someone that's someone that's bothering you across the country? He's like, you just go hire someone to go beat him up. And she's just like, she's doing it. Literally sounded accent? Like that. Yeah, it literally sounded like Uncle Tony. And she's just talking about Italian things with him. And the guy's seen me a couple times because we always order out from him.
Oh, okay.
So he knows me.
Okay.
So we sit at the bar. There's some lady on the left of us, and she kind of talks to us. And I kind of see the appeal of bars now. Just like you sit down at the bar.
And just start talking to people?
Yeah, you just talk to whoever's next to you. We talked about food, and they moved out there or something like that. And then she just left. And I think we spent like an hour there. And then we asked... I really like this bar. I think we should go there sometime together. It's...
Why? What's so good about it?
Well, it closes at 10, but the guy's like, we just stay open until I don't have customers anymore.
Okay.
So this guy's super cool.
Yeah.
And he cooks all the food, and it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And it's like Frank Sinatra playing in the background, and there's murals of like...
famous Italian people?
It's not even Italian people. It's like
it's like Abraham Lincoln.
The best I can describe it is like an airport like mural wall as you're like walking through the terminals kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like people running with kites and shit like that.
I thought it was like Abe Lincoln. I don't know, like that's a famous Italian person. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Just a bunch of Italian people.
Yeah, and the whole place is lit blue. And every time I go there, there's something fucking crazy going on.
Uh-huh.
The first time I went there, there was a guy. There were two guys at a table, and one of them had his head down. I'm like, he's either tired or fucking drunk. And I tell him what our order was. I pay for it. I turn around and look at him, and I realize, oh, this guy's in a wheelchair. So,
I think you told me this.
Yeah. And I grab the food. And as I'm walking out, I can hear, like... I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I look over, and the guy's, like, pissing himself in the chair.
Yeah, you told me that,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then the second time I went, I walked outside, or I got there, and there was just a crazy lady. And I'm assuming she was on drugs or schizophrenic, but she was just fucking screaming at shit.
Yeah.
Wandering around like, nobody's helping me. So that, I saw her on the way in, and I avoided her on the way out. And, that's Uncle Tony's.
And what that? Now she's just in her car now?
Yeah, we went outside. I gave her the rest of her shit to put in the car. And, she's like, I really want coffee. So she's like, Starbucks isn't open this late, right? So I looked it up, and...
No, they're not.
Well, I knew they were closed, but Yum Yum Donuts was open, and they sell coffee. So I'm like, all right, we can go there. And this whole time, she's like cheery, which I was surprised about, because she just got fucking kicked out of her house. So we drive to Yum Yum Donuts, and this woman drives like a fucking madman.
You haven't driven with her?
Huh? I've never driven with her before. I'm always watching the house. So she like hauls ass down the fucking freeway. She'll cut in front of people. Like, she just changes lanes randomly and shit like that. And having her follow you in a car is even worse. You shouldn't call it. So we get to Yum Yum Donuts. My phone runs out of batteries. She orders coffee, a donut. Speaking of which,
you still have the other one?
Still
good. No, it's not. Is it?
They're stale.
What else?
So she orders. She gets like 2 donuts and a coffee. While the guy is around the counter, she puts a tip in, and we start to walk away. And she opens up her coffee, and she like tries to drink her coffee, and she's like, "Oh, this is hot as shit." And she goes back to the counter
and takes the tip.
And while the guy's gone, she takes the tip out, calls him over. It's like, "Oh, can we get a ice cube?" And he puts an ice cube in, and then she puts the tip in so that he can see it. And then...
That's, like, psychopathic.
And we go back to the car. She's like, oh, I need another ice cube. So I go back in, call the guy over again from the fucking... He's, like, making donuts right now.
It's, like, 2 a.m.?
It's, like, 11 at this point.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, all right, fine. And he gets... Instead of getting me one ice cube, I can tell he's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Yeah,
so he gets me a cup and he puts a bunch of ice in it. So I go back out to the car. She puts one ice cube in there and then eats the rest. And then hands me the cup. And then we drive back to Uncle Tony's where my van is. Go to the hotel. Or go to a hotel. She goes in. They're at our rooms. And they told her that, oh, you can just park next to the security guard. And she drives me back to my van. And this whole time, I'm trying to get payment for Walter and Nolan. Mm-hmm. Because Walter has a tattoo that he was wanting to get with the money.
Okay.
So I managed to get her to give me $220, and he needs $260. And 20 for Nolan, because one of them never gave back the change. Apparently they put it on the table, but we never found it. And then I finally left, went home. It was like 12 a.m. And I messaged Walter to see if he was up so I can give him his money, and he wasn't there. So I just got in the van and passed out. And then I woke up at... I don't even know when. But she had a doctor's appointment at 3, so I had to go watch her car. And immediately when I get there, then she's like super depressed and pissed off and shit like that.
The next day?
Yeah, like what I was expecting her to be after. And she seems to think that Nolan and Walter are like out to get her. They're like, oh, she's got all of this money, let's fuck with her, like kind of shit. And she has me count her money, count her pills, redo the time on her watch. And then she gets in the car and we go to her Ralpher. Now, she always takes a long fucking time when she does Ralphing, but I always assume that she's just fucking around somewhere. But apparently it is literally 3 hours of her just in the fucking house while she Ralphs her.
What's Ralph?
It's kind of like massaging.
Oh, okay.
So I sat and watched her fucking car for 3 hours. And then finally she came out and she's moving super slow. And she's still all fucking pissed off and depressed. And I'm like I want to go home and sleep. I got shit to do. And she's like, no, we gotta wait for Roya to respond. And this woman does not know how to fucking text people.
Okay.
If they don't respond, wait for them to respond. Don't send 6 fucking texts in a row.
Yeah.
And then have me send 6 fucking texts in a row.
Yeah.
All night. And, so from like 6 p.m. to, I think it was...
12.
It was like 8 when when we like just drove to a lawyer's office that she said was open so that we could use the bathroom. And sure enough, it was fucking... Is that...
What?
Okay. Want to make sure it didn't spill out. Sure enough, it was closed and locked. So I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna go do the all-natural way. And I'd walk to the back of the parking lot and piss behind a shed. And then she's like, oh, let's go to a liquor store so I can get cigarettes. So she follows me to the liquor store, and I go and buy her cigarettes. And then she's like, oh, let's go to the Boston Market so I can pee and get food. So we drive to Boston Market over by the mall. You know that little...
No. I've never seen it. I thought someone said.
You know this... There's a Sprouts over there by the mall. Do you know what that is? Like Carl's Jr.?
Yeah.
It's in that little...
Oh, okay.
She goes to the Boston Market. She makes me fucking find her face cream in her bag. And then she goes inside and doesn't leave the door unlocked so I can put my shit back. Oh, fucking damn.
It's probably her. Is it her?
Yep. What you call it? We get to Boston Market.
You scared? That you ignored her call? I said you scared you ignored her call?
No, fuck that. She knows it's podcast time. What you call it? We go to... Here, roll the window.
Hello.
Why do you keep floating around?
Huh?
Why do you keep coming outside? Haven't you been out like 3 times?
Well, yeah, first one was because I forgot my keys. And this time, I sent you the ticket on your phone, so you have the ticket.
The ticket? Oh, like the movie ticket?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you came out like 2 more times or something.
I might have. I keep forgetting what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. I'm gracing Caleb with the story of Teresa's.
Oh, who's saying that? Oh, do you guys know her?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
a
okay.
neighbor.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, I'm like, why? Who says that?
Are they going what? They were gonna. Well, Adam's gonna meet us there. I was just telling Adam I sent him the ticket on.
Anyways,
For what?
Teresa.
Oh yeah, Boston Market. So she goes inside. It's like 15 fucking minutes of me waiting around. And she comes back out and she says, one bathroom's just filled with water. And the other one smells like awful piss. And she couldn't get in there for like 10 minutes. So we load everything back up, go to the Carl's Jr., get out, go to the door, open the door, door's locked. She's like, oh, well, Denny's is open. So we drive to Denny's. And at this point, it's like 10 o'clock. I wanted to go, like, get fucked up with Walter and Anthony and Penelope. And I'm like, I got shit to do, Teresa. What the fuck are we... How much is left to do? He's like, oh, well, why don't we just order something to go? I just need to know where Enterprise is and do the U-Haul. Or look up the camper or something like that. So we go in, order food. She bullshits for like an hour. And then finally, when that's done, it's like, alright, you can go. So we never did any of the shit. So I basically just pissed my fucking afternoon away. She kept like waiting for Roya and shit like that. Like, I can text you when Roya texts me. I don't have to fucking be next to you. Guess I'll see what she texted. I have an emergency. Fuck me.
What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna finish the story and go talk to her, I guess. So we...
Oh, you said she let you go.
Yeah, I finally just go home. And I told Walter I'm coming. And was that Walter? Never mind. I'll bring it up at some other time. So that was my week.
So are you gonna be working for less now?
Yeah.
Where is she staying? Where is she trying to stay?
There's a house owned by a doctor on a private golf course. And I have to drive her to a house showing on Saturday at like fucking 7 a.m.
Where?
It's up in Palma Valley, so it's like an hour away.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Hey, you want hit that? Yes, I do. Yeah, that's fucking nutty, dude. You want to hear about my week?
Let me see what she wants real quick.
Should I pause it?
Yeah.
I already told her, and within an instant, she just finished.
It was a 50-50 chance she was just gonna burst into a fucking, oh, you don't care.
Fucking so. Anyways.
Feel like I should feel bad, but I fucking don't.
No, you should. I don't know why you took the call, honestly. Like, I don't know why. The way I see, well, this is the way I see it, probably because I'm not in your shoes, is that, like, you're working for her. Does it make sense? I don't think you really think of her as a friend. Does it make sense?
Well, she's a disabled woman who's in an incredible amount of pain and who's currently homeless.
I know,
kind of hard to
from
just
her own doing. You know what I mean? If it wasn't her and it wasn't her actions that led her that way, I would be like, okay, that's not fair. But you're like, from what I've heard, like, this woman is like trying to work with her and she's trying to talk with her, and then she just ends up screaming. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I wouldn't. I just feel like, that's why I don't know. I'm not in your shoes. Anyways, do you have anything written down?
Yes. Is it on?
Yeah, I just started right now. I like this. What was I gonna say? I wrote down lasers and Tesla coils. I was looking at some dude. He made his own Tesla coil out of basically a bunch of household shit. Like, he got literally like an old wooden desk from the 90s, like, you would find off on the side of the road, and he drilled a bunch of holes and shit like that, and then he broke apart a microwave, and imagine a shitty Tesla coil made out of a desk and a microwave, and he's doing it in his front yard, and it's doing everything in the middle of the night. I'm like, Jesus. And the kid was 16, 17. I was surprised.
Next Elon Musk.
Wait, what?
Next Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Yeah, because he's super into lasers, and that's how I found him. And he likes the lasers that are super powerful.
So I found the 404.
Oh yeah, you sent it to me. I didn't look.
It had relevance to my life.
Mm-hmm.
I looked into it. It's called numerology.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of looked into it, but it looks like astrology bullshit. But that doesn't mean I can't
learn something.
Yeah.
So discuss.
From what I remember, it's about perseverance and loyalty and working hard towards what you want to get done. And it's supposed to be, in numerology, it's supposed to be a message from the universal angels that are trying to tell you something.
Okay. And what did you interpret from it?
I mean,
dick.
That is the interpretation, I guess.
I know, but so what are you gonna take from it?
I just use it as a reminder of I need to get my shit done. It's not gonna happen if I don't do it, if I don't try.
So what are you gonna do now that she's gone? Because you're gonna still work for her, but how's it gonna work?
I'm gonna tell her I'll come at 12, leave at 8.
That's it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay any later.
I don't think that's gonna work well. Damn, fat O's here.
I'm gonna work probably 4 days a week.
Then we could start the podcast.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll talk about it on here. I want to talk about it on the other podcast, but I finally found my lead. Not only did I find my lead, but I found all the roles. So not only do I have all the cast filled, I have all the crew filled, right? So right now I'm just I'm trying to figure out my schedule for this month, right? Where, you know what I mean, so I can meet with them. And then I'm trying to organize how I want to shoot. Does it make sense? You kind of know the movie, the first 20 minutes and the last 15 minutes are just the two boys. So I can just have... I could film that with just them two. I don't need everyone there, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I've been just focusing on that.
With the O's, I've started to try I've started to blow them at each other at different speeds.
I haven't tried that.
So, puff one, and it goes kind of slow.
And you try to shoot the next one as quick?
Yeah, I'll shoot the next one, click, and I'll collide. And
Yeah,
I'll both.
yeah. So yeah, to my movie, I have all the people set, right? So I'm gonna start. I'm sending them the weekly schedule for this month, next week, starting this weekend. So it starts next week, right? And so I'm just gonna meet with all of them, and I'm just gonna basically go over their role as much as I can, and then see how they want to do their role or how if they want to change it, and then I'm just planning for the production.
Mm. So who's the main role or lead role?
This guy named Ramon. He's from Chula Vista, I think. And he, I just found him. And he has a lot of time. He looks like he can be the lead. And I chose him.
Yeah.
And then I found someone to be the friend. And what I'm thinking about is either I might play the friend. I don't know. I might play the friend. It seems easier than just to find another actor.
Mm. So where are you gonna do it?
I already have the shooting location. You know where have you smoked there by Maricosta? It's that table. Oh.
I think the only one at Maricosta I've done was when we went to that golf course.
Yeah, I don't know.
We went there with Steven.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's not there. It's right by Maricosta. And it's the perfect location. I already have it all set. I have all my crew and all that ready. I just need to make sure they know their roles and they're ready to rehearse. Makes sense? That's all I need. I need to make sure I need schedule for next month so I know. Because the way I'm seeing it is like Monday and Tuesday, I can do the love scene. I don't know if you remember the movie, but I can do the love scene. And then Wednesday I can do the girl in the trunk scene. And then Thursday I can do the bad guy scene. And then Friday I can just shoot any scene with him and the other guy. And I can just do that every week of next month. Does that make sense?
Mm.
And so I'm just thinking of how I need a schedule. That's all I'm focusing on right now. Because, like, yeah, that's all. And then I need them to know the roles.
Mm.
So I'm excited. Especially because it's like, I have like 15 people, no, like 10 people, 15 people who are like ready to do anything I say.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, it's like, it's like we were talking about this script in January. You know what I mean? And now it's like a thing. So I'm excited that finally something's happening.
What you call it? On the... Like, when it turned June, that's when I realized, like, I've been working for Teresa for 6 fucking months.
Yeah.
And so how long would the actual movie take to make?
Look at it. Very quickly. Like, 2 weeks. Because not only have we been talking about it for, like, so long, I've been just thinking about it. And thinking about it, and thinking about it, and thinking about it, and thinking about it. So now I feel like, now I'm just thinking about it more and more and more. Does it make sense? Mm. So I feel like I don't know, I just feel like I just need to tell them what to do now. Like, I don't think, I like, how do I say this? If you would have asked me to film something a year ago, I don't think I knew how to write, and I don't think I knew I could just tell people what to do. Does it make sense? And now I know exactly what I want. Make sense? And I have the confidence to, like, just do this. Make sense? So that's why I'm happy.
trying to perfect the breathe in, do the puff, and then blow smoke rings.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm just thinking about the movie. So I had this idea. Just question: if you're watching a film, how do you feel about it if it's black and white? Like, okay, I know it's, you probably don't think about it. Like, say, oh, you haven't watched Roma. I'm trying to think. What's the black and white films that we watched for the podcast? Have we? They're all in color?
Oh, wait, that French one. Yeah, that French one.
Okay, La Haine. So, when you watched it, were you immediately like, I wish it was color, or what were your thoughts because it was black and white? Just your feeling. Not even like, oh, I think it affected the story. I just want to know what you felt about it.
Honestly, I kind of tuned it out. When I really think, I had to like think about the fact that it was in black and white.
Yeah. Okay, because right now what I'm really debating is whether I want it black and white or in color. Okay, because if I have it in black and white, I know how I want to show the love scene, and if I have it in color, I know how I want to show the love scene, right? So I'm thinking of the cheapest ways that I can make interesting like film techniques. Does it make sense? And so I thought if it was in black and white, I could easily buy a kaleidoscope from the 99-cent store and tape it on, right? And I imagine like a love scene in which like, because she comes out of the car, right? I imagine she's slow motion. Remember in a Taxi Driver when Betsy's first shown going upstairs, and she's in slow mo and she's wearing that white dress.
In Taxi Driver.
Mm-hmm. It's in the beginning of the film.
Not really.
Oh, well,
I don't think I remember much of that film actually.
Okay, well, she's like, it's all slow mo, and like all the men are looking at her, and you see Martin Scorsese, the director, like sitting in the corner, and so I imagine this girl, when she decides to come out, because this is the love scene that I'm just trying to show, and I don't know if you remember the film, but it's basically a feature film with a bunch of short films inside of it. So this short film, I'm trying to show a love scene, just the most stereotypical love scene with another type of idea in it, the Madonna whore complex. And so before she becomes this horror character, she's this very ditzy, and he's in love with her. So she's in slow-mo, she's out of the car, you see her hair blowing in the wind, right? I imagine her like, she's wearing a dress and it's like flowy, right? And then she's like, let me grab my jacket, and she kind of goes to the trunk, and he's like looking at her, he's admiring her, and he's like looking at her hair, her legs, her body, right? And then I imagine, are you serious? I imagine she starts to cross the street, and then we cut to him, you know what I mean? So it shows him sitting in the car, and it cuts to her walking, and then it cuts to him. No, I should probably do it where it's her walking, right? Then it cuts to him, like, admiring her beauty. And then I thought it would cut to, like, a kaleidoscope. Does it make sense? Mm. And, like, imagine a kaleidoscope twisting, and he's just in love, and then it cuts back to him, and he's in love with her. You know what I mean? Just cheap little things that I can do. I don't know how to edit that, but I can go buy a $10 kaleidoscope. You know what I mean? Then that was in black and white, and I also thought if you get like different prisms and stuff like that, you can like double her image, and so I just thought of stuff like that. Then if it's in color, you know when you have CDs and you point it in the sun, how it makes a rainbow.
Yeah.
So I thought finding the biggest CD I can, or a bunch of CDs, makes sense. And then just like I said, that she's walking, it cuts to him, he's admiring her, it cuts back, she has all these rainbows on her, right? It cuts to him, he's admiring her again. I'm just trying to think of little cheap things that I can put that are cinematically interesting, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That provoke love. Well, that's just a love scene that I'm thinking about. And then I'm thinking about if it's black and white, then which way I'm gonna go. What do you think? I shouldn't even talk about it on this podcast.
What do I think about what?
You don't even know what's going on. Just finish it. Hand it over. No, yeah, I'm just thinking about the movie.
Two flavors. Well, if you're gonna blast your music, your radio, fucking roll up the windows.
Oh yeah, I can't talk about this. Oh, okay, so we can wrap up the podcast with this question. If a man gets sentenced to death row, but during the whole conviction, right, before he gets sentenced, right, he develops dementia and completely forgets what he's done. Okay? Is he still guilty for the crime? Ooh. That's it. You hear that? Nicotine.
I mean, you'd have to be pretty far into dementia to not know who you are. Like, late stage.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fuck it.
Not guilty?
Huh?
Not guilty?
Nah, execute him.
Damn. Now what's your justification? Guilty?
Huh?
He's guilty for being guilty?
He's guilty because
No mental illness can stop it? Nothing? Like, he did the crime, period. His biological stuff did the crime, or what?
It's more of a... I guess... uniform, approach, I guess. I don't know the word for it. If he's gonna die... like, soon, because he's late-stage dementia...
Why not just end it quicker?
Yeah, why do the paperwork? Just fucking have a fucking justice system
Do its good
case,
work.
yeah. When you can just fuck it, whatever.
Okay. I was just curious because I saw it on Reddit, and it was like on the philosophy Reddit, and it was like a question, and I just saw it and I just wrote it down.
Teresa asked me, what does our generation think of the future?
Okay, what exactly what she thought?
Huh?
Exactly what she thought. I have no fucking clue. You have no fucking clue, right?
Well, I think the view of the future is either it's like a balance between like apocalypse and like triumph, because we're getting like robot arms and shit. And we're fucking shooting rockets into space. We're gonna go to Mars in 5 years.
No, you're thinking too ahead. They thought we'd be already on Mars. They thought we'd be fucking colonizing fucking places. Even the moon a handful of times.
They've started engineering plants that would survive on Mars.
Yeah, okay.
And spread quickly.
Yo, okay, we'll see. Mumble bullshit.
That's my hope for the future, at least. Yeah. Like, look at all this cool shit we're working on.
I was to say, we're running out of time. You want to start the other podcast?
Sure.
Alright, this is My Only 15 with Adam and Kalo. It's kind of a weird podcast.
Yeah.
Any last words, Adam?
404 ending not found.
I didn't even think of that. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 30? I don't know.
Okay, 404.
Episode 404 of Mildly Fatigued. We'll see you guys next week. Oh, this week we're watching Carrie, so go listen to that. With Brian De Palma's, not fucking, what's her name, the fucking shitty one.
He looked me in the eyes and said that, and I responded with a gesture.
Alright, so that's it. We'll see you guys soon.